There was a point in history when people were having a conversation about, you know, who could be sort of the best player, you know, in the world, and it was either Simple or Nico. That was a conversation. It didn't last for very long. It was like 3 months or something.
Uh-huh.
And I keep thinking there's got to be a point in time where Nico will want to come back and, you know, not that he could defeat him in one game, but I'm just saying I feel like that's my hope, is that Nico takes it real personal and just wants to show up and do a lot here. And he's going to have to. They all will, because they're playing Na'Vi, and it will definitely be tricky. G2 going to be starting on the T side with the Na'Vi on the CT side, and we will start on Mirage.
Indeed we will. And it's a strong pick for G2 to start. Strong map for them. They're on a win streak on it. They're looking good. Na'Vi, however, are the ones who have struggled. They struggled on Mirage yesterday against Gambit. Personally, I think they were already kind of mentally checked out by the time we got to the third map after that Ancient. It was a bit of a weird run, but it's also a really strong map for Gambit, so not ideal for Na'Vi. Here, however, against G2, now Na'Vi will have had time to prepare and hopefully fix some of those mistakes that we saw.
They definitely need to have done that. It didn't look that great, you're right. Electronic, interesting position, and he's gonna just snipe away at Jax. He's got that USP, and against the Glock, it'll do just fine. Actually, Perfecto will get the second one. A little bit of revenge. Hunter, very interesting player to watch for sure. Let's see if he could find something more in the middle. Oh, that's a nice peek. Perfecto takes him down. And the bomb is now stuck in middle. Amanek and Nico are on opposite sides of the map. They can't really help each other out. P250 is great and all. We appreciate that, but it's not going to be easy to make your way back into a round like this. And Bit will take down Nico, leaving Amanek in a 1 versus 4. That should not really be winnable. Again, you'd have to count on Na'Vi making some pretty big mistakes to give this round up. I like it. I like the aggression from Electronic up top, and it'll be simple. Just sneaking in that last kill. So, Na'Vi win the pistol.
You love to see it. It's not common to see actually so much these days, this hardcore aggression up to the top of mid like that. But Electronic, uncharacteristic, it all works out for him. He's able to get 2, having that huge impact and really throwing a wrench in things for G2. Kind of sad that we didn't see that A execute from G2 again, because it worked so well against Complexity, and they you know, it's such a slick pistol round. They decided to change it up and play a slower approach, and that actually comes back to haunt them. So, unfortunate break there for G2, who have been very good at winning pistols so far this tournament.
Simple. Doesn't really matter how fast you're moving. He tracked that mid-air. Pretty tricky. He made it look easy, and then he just jumps up and takes the second kill. Hunter sneaking back up here, and he had the right idea. Did a lot of damage right then. But this should be a very easy round. And I kind of like this from Na'Vi. They're putting a lot of pressure on G2 at the beginning here. Not allowing them to sneak around and, you know, look for those long-range battles, especially if they had some deagles in play or anything like that. They're just denying any of that right here. So, good stuff.
I think this is critical from Na'Vi. Not so much, I mean, just to get the aggression and to get the confidence early. Right, just to take the fight to G2. I think they've been playing a very passive style of CT lately, and so just changing it up radically here against G2, saying, right, we know you're the favorite team, this is your pick, you're obviously feeling good about it, but you know what? We're going to take the fight to you immediately, we're going to try and smash you early and get some rounds on the board so that you don't have that confidence and you don't feel like you're going to just get your game for free. So I really like the start from Na'Vi, you know, aggressive pistol round against G2, who have been doing fantastic in pistols, and then also G2, a threat. They've won 1/3 of their 4 spies after losing the pistol, and yet Na'Vi just shut that down with ease. So not letting G2 get anything going here at the beginning of the map, Na'Vi, it's exactly what has to happen for them.
And they all look really crisp. I mean, some Na'Vi games have Na'Vi showing up at the beginning and not looking that fresh at this, the opening map in the best of 3. Takes a while before they play their way into it. So I'm really encouraged by seeing them. Usually Simple already. I mean, not that he's been fighting that much, but he's 4-0, and it looks good when he's fighting right now. So this is definitely a good start.
What Super Saiyan level are Na'Vi now, right? You know, because they get put down into the lower bracket, and then they just start shouting and like powering up as the tournament progresses. So they just keep ramping and ramping and ramping and ramping.
That's how they work.
And now they've died once, so they have to come back even stronger, Anders. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So this is it. No wasting time at all from Na'Vi. They're fully ready to go. They're geared up and ready to take the fight to Gambit later in the finals.
So far, only Hunter has got a kill. Again, doesn't really mean that much on the G2 side. It's pretty much early days. And they are up against 2 MP9s, so maybe they could do something with these AK-47s. Smoke into the window room. Bomb is in middle. Could be some sort of a collapse onto the B-bomb site. 2 from the hallways, 3 coming in from catwalk. Definitely not a bad idea. They've made some noise already. 40 seconds. I think Na'Vi is starting to figure this out as well. Bit is going to go down. Pretty good stuff there from Amanek, but Electronic, very late to try and help out. Thought maybe he would have tried to time that, and maybe they thought that too. Perfecto catching Nexa mid-air, and this push is so slowed down, and it's all thanks to Electronic just coming in. They actually thought they'd already cleared that obstacle. Once they got Bit, they were like, all right, that's it. Just a free path onto the bomb site. Didn't really turn out that way. Hunter instantly dinked, and with 15 seconds left, it's not going to work out. So that's a really nice recovery. I think Na'Vi were actually on the way to losing that round, but Electronic turning it around.
Hero play from Electronic, and real quick snap decision there from G2. Once they get that top connector smoke down, they're just powering up and really just not wasting any time. They even had Hunter running back through underpass, so a lot of audio cue going. But I think that at that point, once that smoke goes up, they're committed to the take. Whatever happens, they are just going to go on to be as fast as possible. So Electronic really forcing them to slow down. That just annihilates all momentum in the round for G2, and they're pretty much done. So about as rough a start for G2 as they could get right now, because nothing is working in these 3 rounds. They're not necessarily hitting the shots either. So have to see as G2 go into this round of eco. Just Deagles, always good times with Nico and the Deag.
Yeah, I mean, they had 3 people on that catwalk in the last round, and one of them was covering from behind. No one was covering that that ladder room. And I guess if they had been, maybe Electronic would have died. And I think that would have been the round. That would have been the round done with. So I guess it might have been closer than maybe it seemed. But yeah, the timing was just so good. They're back to pistols. They did a little bit of damage, and I guess you could put that on top of it. At least they took something away from Na'Vi. But they also gave some AKs, so who knows?
You can see Boomich really lurking on in that last round as well. Boomich just slow to rotate off. And I think that's because there's been a lot of tape of Nico just playing Palace, playing Pit, really playing that lurk role heavy for G2 these days.
Yep.
And so he's hanging out over there. Boomich, he's going to know that. Blade will have told him, you know, they have their analysts, they have everybody watching demos, so.
Oh no.
What is that?
Hunter to the window. Yeah, it's a 3rd player on that bomb site, which they definitely knew about. So I don't know. I guess we was hoping he'd just get his fingers on that AK-47. But those are actually some really important kills. That takes that from being a sort of actually a very bad round, and this kind of makes up for it a lot. 3rd one would have been the real superstar moment, but still 4-0 in favor of Na'Vi, and I don't know, G2, they need to shake it off and get right back into the game.
Now we get the hero of Mirage for G2, and that's Amanek. He's got his AWP. He was doing work the other day against Complexity. And so now it's going to be a question of whether or not he's going to be able to give us a repeat performance here with that op for G2. They're certainly going to be needing it. And that was one of the questions raised on the desk going into this match by our analysts. How is he going to measure up against Simple? Now you're starting to get up against the top dogs in the opping world. Simple, Shiro, the 2 oppers, the primary oppers left in this tournament. Amanek, who's taken on the role wonderfully for G2. This G2 roster is done if it isn't for Amanek stepping up and assuming that op role and doing a great job with it in record time. But again, it's a tall task. You just start opping at a pro level, and now you're going up against Simple.
Yeah, it's asking a lot, isn't it? Electronic, a little bit out in the open. This actually could be very dangerous, and he's looking slightly the wrong way he's going to be found. That is just a question of timing. Very unfortunate. And I do still like it. Na'Vi showing that they would like the information. They want to try and figure out what's coming. But Boomich and Simple here are going to be crushed between these 2 arms of the attack if they don't get the kills really quickly. Bit is there to help out. Massively important. Boomich going to be going down, and Simple, instead of falling back, pushing on to the bomb site. Missing the 1 chance. He might not have many more. He's actually inside of the smoke, and they're going to find him as well. Bit on his own. 1 versus 3. Still 30 seconds left, and yeah, they need to calm down here, G2, because this is very winnable round.
They need to, yes, exactly. And Nico is going to be very happy that Boomich is playing so aggressively, trying to find him. Because if he plays patient now and counts on Boomich just hanging around trying to counter him, that is something that Nico excels at. What was that? Okay. I thought I imagined that for a second, but I saw your reaction, so I'm like, nope, that was in reality. Semler, that is not in your head.
Since no one's screaming afterwards, I feel like it's all right.
All right. Well, dude, already today, Thor was definitely trying to bring the clouds down on our heads.
Yes,
massive thunderstorm here.
I love it. I think it's amazing.
So awesome. So sick.
Big fan of that. Bit manages to make his way out with the AK. And, yeah, I mean, scary moment. Yeah, he was definitely very visible. So...
straight to Hunter and Nico. Yep. Solid.
And I think, you know, a rare miss for Simple with the AWP initially. That looked like you definitely could have had that shot. If he had, maybe there could have been built something more behind it. But regardless, G2 are on the board here. And we're going to go into round number 6. So we don't have enough really to say much about, other than the fact that Na'Vi did try to find some information on the A ramp, and it kind of backfired a little bit. We'll see if they will continue. Simple making the instant jump over from the window onto the B catwalk. Ready to fight in case anyone shows up. If they go for that run boost, they've been doing that over and over again. I think Simple's fast enough to hit a shot like this. He's just trying anyway. And I don't know, Jax is lucky to be alive. That's the kind of shot Simple just hits all the time.
I'm very curious to see if Boomich is going to get any kind of support over here in this duel against Nico. I mean, we're going to keep going back to this just because it is one of the most important roles on the map on the T side, is the lurk over towards Palace, the lurk over towards A. Because so long as Nico stays alive, Nex as an in-game leader has the option to go A. That lurk role is so important because it allows you to get backstabs on the rotates towards B or towards mid, but also to create opportunity on A if somebody on A on the CT side is pushing for information. And so who better to have in this key role than Nico, basically the most experienced guy on your roster who's able to just take everybody on in a 1v1. So Boomich has got his work cut out for him here in terms of mind games and in terms of aim. He's going to have to be super sharp. But Nico patiently waiting the entire time, is allowing for G2 to work their way up connector, and this is looking like it's going to wind up on A.
Yeah, and if they smoke off Simple, I wonder if he'll stay behind that